Hey there, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Surviving Mars. Maximum difficulty in Hellridge. We built a giant megadome, which I have named Weirstein since he won the poll. Thank you for that. And we have completed all of our milestones as a result. So at this point, now that the mystery event is dealt with and the milestones are gone, we could technically end this series, and I would say we're in a pretty darn good spot. Pretty much every resource is kind of easily being maintained. We really are not having too many shortages, metals being perhaps the one exception, though we can easily fix that simply by upgrading the mohole, which is something I've already queued up. But I would like to start terraforming this planet a little bit, hence why we are making some progress with the temperature and with the carbonate processors. So we'll see how much further we can go along with this. Not to mention, in the last video, we did start exploring deep in the underground. We found this weird ancient device thing that apparently we'll be able to control someday, an ancient artifact. Is it this thing right here? Ooh, I didn't even get a good look at it before. Oh, it's like a piece of a starship from like Star Wars or something. I don't know. More signs of extraterrestrial life on Mars. How very exciting. We had that in the last series as well. Anyways, so I'm going to continue expanding a little bit, trying to explore as much as we can down in the underground, occasionally taking advantage of such things as asteroids, and maybe making the planet look good in something, you know? Something habitable? Tear down these domes? That'll be great. Oh, also, of course, build out the Megadome. I had a really good idea this morning. I think we should go ahead and melt the polar ice caps. It's a great idea. Just nuke it. Literally detonate nukes, right? Now, the rocket will be lost in order to do this. And I don't really want to get rid of the Trailblazer. Technically Mark II after Renegades blew up the first one, but we don't talk about that. I can, however, build up some new rockets in just a bit. Actually, I think we already finished the research for it, didn't we? Yeah, we already finished the research for it, so I should be able to start building up some new rockets, which we will then do. But melting the polar ice caps is worth 20% more water and a whopping 10% atmosphere, which is great. I mean, heck, what do I need in order to get up to, like, toxic range? It's around 25% or something. That said, technically speaking, I don't think that we have enough heat even for that water to melt. So, how getting more water before we even have the heat helps me? I'm not too sure, unless we're looking for snowfall. That'd be kind of fun. Snow on Mars? That sounds like a crazy idea. I don't know, it might be just crazy enough to work at some point. Regardless, I think what we can go ahead and start doing is building ourselves up some new rockets with the intention of literally kamikazeing our way into the polar ice caps. We are running into something of a metals crisis right now, though. My maintenance and consumption are very high. I mean, I am trying to produce a huge number of machine parts, and that's kind of part of what's doing it right now. Oh, we may have to turn this off at least a little bit. Just start conserving some metals for a little bit until we get some more. You know, if we could discover another asteroid, maybe it would be a good idea to go ahead and land and grab some more. Not this one. Itokawa is a little bit too far away at this point, only 3 souls remaining. Gosh dang it, that's not what I was looking for. But if the Recon Center would like to discover a new asteroid, maybe we can find another source of metals. That could be useful. Oh, did we finally finish up that rare metals deposit? We sure as heck did. Okay, well, good. So that deposit is gone. We can go ahead and prefab up this rare metals extractor. That's a whole bunch of new jobs we're going to need. To be honest, I didn't think we were going to get through all that metals anytime soon, but alrighty. I mean, we've got a load of rare metals to work with at this point. I am quite concerned about our metals situation. I felt very good about it with the mohole being what it is, and now not so much. Now I'm kind of wondering if we need to set up another mining dome. We may have to. Something like this over here might be necessary just as another little colony to extract some more materials and send it back. I mean, we would be fine, right? We would be fine. It's just I happen to have a lot of metals required in a lot of construction sites all at once. Some of which aren't even necessarily being built up right now. Cure exported to Earth with the Cure Tatos. Yay, 200 million measly dollars. Oh boy, am I excited. Anyway, yeah, a lot of that stuff needed in the construction sites isn't actually even being used, but you get the idea. There is apparently a lot that is needed over there right now, and we're not producing anywhere near enough, even at 50 per soul just from the mohole mine, which is unfortunate. Also, we have a great dust storm on the way pretty soon, which is going to put a huge strain on my electrical grid, and we're probably going to have to go ahead and start shutting some things down. Yay. The good news is, underground, we've actually discovered quite a lot of metals and brought them back. 300 or so to be precise, so we're going to go ahead and start transporting a bunch of that up to the surface, and that will at least keep me going until I can stop being so overly aggressive with my construction projects. The only problem is I still have to click each of these individually, which really hurts my hand after a bit. 25% heat means now liquid surface water is possible. Okay, there we go. So back at that 15%. Yeah, yeah, nuking those polar ice caps is definitely going to be the way to go. The metal situation. It says we now have a couple hundred metals, but don't believe it for a second. We don't have access to any of them. They're just all getting delivered right out here thanks to the underground. This is one reason why the underground actually can become very useful. I mean, some people thought the underground was completely useless, but with 300 metals down here, can't be that useless. It seems pretty useful, in fact, so I don't know. That'll be good. I really would just love to discover some more, you know, dang asteroids, though. So that maybe I could do something fun and actually gather up some metals from space. That would be great. I could really use that. Whoa, that was scary. Did you guys see that? Meteor incoming. Boom! See, and this is why you leave your defenses turned on at all times. That could have been really bad just now. It was aiming for the mohole, wasn't it? The game said, you know what? I bet you I can take a second wonder out of the game. Oh man, that actually almost worked too. I'm gonna go ahead and rename this rocket Duke Nukem. That just seems appropriate to me. I like the idea. All right, we're gonna go ahead and launch this sucker. Duke Nukem is ready, man. Let me at him. Now for that, of course, it does take 400 fuel on top of launching the rocket itself. So I've had to build out one more fuel refinery down in this direction. Hopefully that ends up being enough to get me back on my feet, but we're going to be a little bit low on fuel for a while, I suspect. Okay, we have another little mining outpost set up. This dome is named after Pyru. Thank you for your support. Still mostly having to use non-specialized workers right now, which I do consider to be a little on the unfortunate side, would much prefer to be having some geologists. Could try to filter some of that and just say, like, hey, please send me geologists as well as some non-specialized and stuff. That would be great, you know, if we could pull that off. I know a bunch are free. They just left the rare mining jobs. And, well, whatever. Either way, cold wave on the way, but we should be already set up over here, so no problems at all, and maintenance is going to be kept down to a bare minimum. Once this sucker is done, we'll have another set of metals, and this deep metal deposit actually has 2,000 metals to go, so this is a good, relatively long-term solution to my metal crisis as well. Still haven't launched Duke Nukem. It turns out it takes a very long time to deliver 400 fuel. Polar ice caps melted. Ba-boom! The warheads detonated a magnificent display of light brighter than 1,000 suns. Okay, and just like that, we get a big leap forward in our atmosphere and our water. We're now up to a whopping 40% water. Amazingly, despite the fact that I haven't dug a single lake, we got more water than anything else in terms of terraforming progress, but oh well. And the atmosphere being at 33% is certainly nice. It is gradually making things like my Moxies more effective, and as the atmosphere gets higher, eventually we'll get rid of these meteor storms entirely, which will be great. Dust storms are on the way, and it looks like one has started simply from the nuke. Yep, a giant wave of nasty, nasty dust. Yeah, that would be a thing that happens there. Something certainly to be a little concerned about, but I think we're gonna be okay. At some point, with the water being high enough, well, you know, there's gonna be enough moisture in the dirt that it stops flying all over the place. That would be great. In the meantime, we're finally starting to catch back up in terms of metal production. We're getting somewhere, dang it. We're finally getting somewhere. All right, we're back on even footing. We have found ourselves another one of these asteroids. Okay, where best to land? I mean, what I want is probably the exotic minerals more than anything else. Some water, some metals, some blah blah blah, most of which isn't that exciting, and unfortunately no metals deposits, which would have been ideal, but oh well. Sure, something like this will probably be fine. At the very least, we can grab a load more minerals and bring it back, and we have extremely large cargo capacity on these upgraded rockets, so we really will be able to bring back a lot of goodies this time. Oh, this is what you call just downright unfortunate. Oh, yep. Downright unfortunate indeed. I don't think we built a laser down here. It's the one thing I forgot, and of course, because there's a dust storm on top of everything else, can I send the last 2 electronics we need to build said laser? Of course not. Fortunately, instead of hitting everything around us, it only hit the dome, so we lose a little bit of polymers. Not good for life support at all, but at the same time, surprisingly, we can kind of live with this. Sort of, at least until my transport gets down here with the very much needed electronics. And then we can defend ourselves. Oh, good lord, this just keeps happening. These freaking meteors, man. They ain't fooling around. You know, I just realized we actually forgot to get the amplification on all of our Hawking Institutes. This, in conjunction with the zero space computing, means we are going to be producing a phenomenal amount of science at our Hawking Institutes, and that's before I'm even getting this one all spun up over here in the Wehrstein Dome with the double boosts from the research sites. That's another 35% right there on top of everything else. Good lord. We're so smart. I'm such a big brain boy. Oh goody, we found McAsteroid Face again. Yay, and it's got medals on it. Nice. We'll go ahead and do a scan. Maybe I want to go there, maybe I don't. All I know is, how can I possibly pass up on an asteroid called McAsteroid Face? Oh my god, I've got 64 children? Holy frick, my population's been growing a lot faster than I thought it was. Oh my god! Well, on the plus side, we're going to be able to fill this dome out no problem at all. On the other hand, I'm kind of thinking that maybe we need to put together a dedicated school dome. Like, literally just a dedicated dome for children. And we'll take advantage of the fact that we know that nurseries are not going to create renegades. Get this sucker set up and have a whole mess of schools and loads of children housing, because we're going to need that. Also, I have a patient who has been, like, apparently using drugs to extend his life, and I can keep spending money every few souls or so to keep extending his life. At this point, I've wasted at least a couple $100 million on this one person. I'm not sure if that's stupid, but I'm trying it, just in case something really cool happens. I am happy to report that we're going to get 53 exotic minerals returned to Mars right about now. That's going to be nice. 53, huh? I don't know how much we can do with 53 exactly. I mean, I know that I'll be able to start upgrading some of my solar panels if that's something that I cared about. Not sure that it is, but it is something we could do. Gosh dang these pike leaks. One thing I will note, as much as I like to complain about the dust storms, and I stand by it, they're absolutely abysmal. One thing to note, this dust storm was the shortest lasting one yet. Why? Because as the moisture level goes up and the atmosphere improves, as a general rule, the natural disasters are not going to be lasting quite as long. The same will be true of the cold wave as the temperature continues to increase. So, at least by making progress in terraforming, we are at least reducing the impact of the natural disasters, if not eliminating them entirely. We're going to rename this school dome Foxytrot. I dubbed thee Foxytrot. All right. So once this passage is built up, this is where I'm going to start sending children for the rest of the game. I mean, we can hold on to our little tiny school dome over here if we so desire. But the most important thing is simply having this large dome for the huge numbers of children that are being born. 74 now. My god, my population is starting to skyrocket. This is actually extremely dangerous, believe it or not. Because we're growing so fast, I'm a little bit concerned about my ability to sustain this population. I mean, I'm working on it, but woof. Adaptive vegetation, that's good. One thing that would help a lot would be to increase the atmosphere and temperature and water quality of the soil enough that will start placing down some open farms. We learned this in the last game. Is it under terraforming, landscaping? Open farm, there it is. These things are exceptionally good at producing huge amounts of food. Massive amounts of food. So I would love to place one of those down, but we're gonna need some lakes, so we're gonna start gradually boosting up the soil quality in a few key areas in order to make that work. Knowing that that is something I would like to do, we could start making some progress toward that. Let's suppose, for example, I should go ahead and flatten out a whole load more land out over here. Something kind of like this. In order to start prepping some space for not only a couple of small lakes, but also a big open farm. This patient, man, when do we just accept that the patient needs to die? I mean, it's fun and all keeping them alive for some reason, but like, we probably should just let him die at this point, right? Oh, well, you know that patient who I kept alive for a long time? He actually did die. And colonists have gained the enthusiast perk as a result. They're enthusiastic about the death, I guess. Huh. A little bit weird and macabre, but okay, I guess I'll take it. Turns out there is a reason to keep sustaining the guy's life. Whoop, a bunch of fireworks just went off. That's 500 colonists for me, boys. Oh my yak. And a lot of people who are homeless again. Good lord. All right, well, we're trying to build out this dome, which actually I need to rename. Hang on, who's it gonna be? Answer is Greg Marks. Okay, so there's a diamond dome. We're gonna have a sanatorium built up over here, and this is gonna be at least in part a therapy dome. But also, I would like to go ahead and start working on some seed crops. I want to start making some seeds in preparation for my need for farming, big open farms over here. Because you can see we are starting to dwindling down a bit on our food. We're still producing a lot, but it's not going to be that much longer before I literally can't feed everybody. And that's kind of a huge problem, like a really huge problem. Good lord, this planet is simply not terraforming fast enough, is it? Well, if we were to get, say, the artificial sun, we would have enough power to keep working on a load more carbonate processors and stuff. All of that could end up being very helpful for me. I don't know, we'll consider it, but I'm having power issues over here for absolute sure. It is really hard to charge up enough of these atomic accumulators to keep this whole area going. Oh, great, a dome heating event. Fine, replace it. It's not a big deal. Obviously, we're not going to leave the children in the cold, as funny as that would be. Good lord, my population's grown so stinking fast. And I've got 90-something people without any jobs? It's not for lack of effort on my part, I can assure you that much. Alright, tell you what, let's go ahead and start mining out some more of the rare metals. Not that I need them, mind you, but whatever, we'll go ahead and start working on it. And get another farm going, and maybe a third just for some food, at least until I can get this sucker up and running. Herbs? Ah, those seem terrible. However, we have not sufficiently terraformed in order to make use of something like wheat, which we know is amazing. Cover crops we'll probably need to do at least once, but then after that, which increases soil quality a fair hunk, we can start moving on to something like, I don't know, potatoes, I guess? It says the harvest is not a lot, but honestly, I think it's fine. Minimum soil quality, the average is 28%. One round of cover crops probably will solve the problem. And we can start going for ludicrous numbers of potatoes, and that's probably gonna end up being enough in order to keep me sustained, frankly. I mean, we've seen that this stuff can produce hundreds and hundreds of food. It's kind of amazing, actually. The biggest issue I can see right now is simply having enough water to keep this all going. Because, God, we need a lot of water. And you know, as much as I hate to do it, I think we're going to go ahead and go for yet another mohole mine upgrade. I think we have to. You can turn this thing into a prefab? Huh. That's interesting. But yeah, even at 400 stinking machine parts, getting an extra 75 production per soul instead of 50 is going to be needed because I'm still consuming a stinking load of metals at this point, and I'm looking to place down some more machine parts factories and stuff pretty soon too to make sure that I can continue doubling up on that. And also just give people jobs. And if not that, well, I mean, it better than having people be bored with nothing to do. I suppose we could start setting up some Bio-Robotics Workshops and stuff. I mean, these are things we can do. They're not good. They don't produce literally anything. But you know what they do? What they do is give people jobs so that they're not unemployed, technically, which I guess tends to make people happy. So we should probably go ahead and build a few. I don't know, but we're starting to really hit a cap very rapidly over here, and if I don't find ways to keep the food going for these people, we're going to find ourselves very hungry very, very, very quickly. But I'm trying, dang it, I am trying. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Next video, I suspect, will end up being the finale. If you did enjoy this video, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.